Good afternoon from Yummy B TV. Wishing you all well, of course. That's bitterly cold outside there. Now, on my way to where I'm having a vacation deep in the countryside, two of my besties were driving me to this place, and we went past Windsor Castle. So I suggested that could we stop while I do a video outside it, right? Because I can't remember. Well, I think when I was little, at school, I went outside Windsor Castle, right? But I then remembering that Queen Elizabeth, our great queen, rest in peace, that they reminded me that Broadmoor Hospital was round the corner. Now, I'm thinking today, I thought I'd share with you because I did take a picture and there was a little bit of drama out inside the hospital, and then I went outside, right? So I said, okay, drive me to the hospital. So they parked up. They didn't want you have to go down a hill and then up some steps. You pass the old bit of Broadmoor that looks more like a Category A prison from the outside, right? And then I went like down the hill and up some stairs, right? So I was thinking that there'll be security, that you have to press a buzzer to get in, and there is cameras everywhere all around the vicinity, much like a Category A prison. Remember when I went outside Full Sutton Category A prison to do the free Warren Slaney campaign, and got into a little bit of trouble there in the visits area where I was told I couldn't film. You'd have to go to a place that is not where you can't get into trouble for, where you can video. So on getting to the doors of the so-called new look Broadmoor Hospital, I found, I saw a delivery man just go through the door without pressing any buzzers, right? So I was scratching my head and I walked up as he went through and the door was open. I didn't expect it to be open without pressing a buzzer, basically. So I waited behind him, he signed something, left it and left. So I asked the reception staff if it was all right if I sit in the surrounding area and do a video for Yummy B TV that I was a reformed character. And they sent me packing, all right? So I didn't really do it that well, and it was naive of me to even think that I could just walk in and ask, right, on careful inspection. So they kind of threw me out, and my parting shot was that you let Jimmy Savile in, but you won't let me in, kind of thing. So I left. So on going back down the stairs, I saw probably 5 to 6 people walking in a couple, and a couple of people walking on their own, and decided to stop and talk to them, right? Of finding, this is in the thumbnail, you see the picture where I could take a photo of me standing outside Broadmoor Hospital, obviously. And I realised that they were foreign nationals travelling from really all around the world, three of them at least, and they're allowed to be housed with accommodation to come and visit loved ones that are housed in Broadmoor Hospital, right? So I tried to talk to two of them, they blanked me. I talked to another one, they talked to me a little bit at length for probably about 3 or 4 minutes. And then I spoke to a couple of British couples, right? And they gave me a little bit of time. So on speaking to a father that visits his son in there, I asked a few questions, some that he could tell me and some that he couldn't. But the one thing that you'd be interested in, we've probably covered Robert Napper on Yummy B TV, right? He is probably a man that was described as an evil man, which he, as far as I'm concerned, he still is. Murdered Samantha Bissett, and the infamous case of Rachel Nicole, who was sadly murdered in front of her son on Wimbledon Common, which Colin Stagg went to prison for on a honey trap murder charge, and only to be found innocent, but in later life, with the DNA from Samantha Bissett's sad murder and rape by Robert Napper, believed to be involved in a lot of rapes. It was a bodged up case, the Rachel Nicole case, right? And then his DNA was found there, and they put it together, and they realised, in the end, justice prevailed in some ways. But he's still in Broadmoor Hospital. Now this person told me that he was sitting in a day room, right? And a documentary came up, like you see me on them, many category A, Monster Mansions, World's Deadliest Killers, and Broadmoor's been up there before. He tells me that his son was in the day room, not one of the attackers, but one of those documentaries was being shown on the TV, and Robert Napper's name came up while everybody was watching in the day room. And that he told me that 3 or 4 inmates, when listening to who he was, right, and, you know, some kind of little bits of recognition, he got a few punches. They rushed him. Like, what surprised me, I was thinking, but why, if you're all in for real bad offences and some real horrifying cases in Broadmoor, I was thinking that most would be, you know, on the same mark, but it turns out it's not much different from the category A's, that they don't like rapists, paedophiles, child killers, lady killers. Some of those patients hold those morals that certain inmates hold in the prison system that I resided in for years and years. So I was a bit shocked about that. They got caught up, you know, cameras everywhere and that kind of stuff. And the other thing that I didn't know is that you are allowed to, as a patient, you're allowed to change your name as somebody different. Napper's done it, and a lot of paedophiles do it in there, so they don't get that kind of retribution and recognition from other patients. Yeah? So I didn't know, and obviously some don't change their names, right? I found out that Peter Bryan was a West Ham supporter, right? That he jumps with joy if they score a goal and all that kind of stuff. But the other thing that I learned, right, is some of people visiting some of those criminally insane people, is that I was saying, you know, their crime, someone's despicable, and they said, look, Yummy TV, it is, they're mentally unwell. But I said, look, there's people from the past, I didn't say that to them, but Brady, Sutcliffe, many people pull the wool over to get an easier time, because I'm hearing in that hospital they get really treated and looked after really well, and that the grading of the rehab stage, that you're high risk in a certain, can't remember exactly what they was telling me about, but you go, if you like go a long period with, and you tick boxes without being deemed to be dangerous to staff, because staff get attacked quite a lot there apparently, that you can get jobs as well, which would be the same as prison: printing, jewelry shops, woodwork shops, and you can work in the gardens area with not trusty jobs, but, you know, you're downgraded to being able to work because they like patients to have something to do. So I learned quite a lot there, but I don't want to drag out this video. But it was a real eye-opener for me, and sending loads of love. I might go live tonight, but I'm definitely travelling back by about Tuesday morning. But I'll keep you all posted, and more videos coming. Loads of love to you all.